Hello, today we're picking up in Proverbs chapter 17, verse 6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children is their father. Children's children are the crown of old men, our grandchildren. They are the crown of old men because they know that their child has produced offspring, and grandparents just love their children, and it is great to see that. And the glory of children is their father. Children, glory of children is their father. They say, "Hey, this is who I came from. This is my parents, who I came from, and I am so proud to represent them, and then to represent to my children, so they'll one day want to represent them as well." It is good when your children want to emulate you. And here's the thing: how do they emulate you? Hopefully, you have a good godly standard. I try to do that for my children. Now, here's the thing: we can't control what our children do, the choices they make. But let's make it in a way where, hey, even if they do fall, they'll go back one day, and go, you know what? But hey, that was the right way, and I'll go back and emulate that, and it will help save. It could save your child's life, save their direction in life. Excellent speech is not becoming to a fool, much less lying lips to a prince. That's God saying here. A fool doesn't really care about the words that come out of his mouth, and a prince who's not doing well doesn't have really good use for lying lips. If you're going to lead somebody, or lead anybody to Jesus, or be a ruler, we don't want you want to make sure you choose your words carefully. Make sure they're the truth. 'Cause here's the thing: when you lie about something, or you say a somewhat false truth, what happens? Here's what happens. You have to spend time trying to defend that. And it's easy to get caught up in a lie. And even if it's just when you think it's just a little bit, it's not true. And then you have to try to, and you go, instead of saying, oops, that's really not what I meant to say, we spend a lot of time trying to fix that so we look good in front of people. Here's the thing: if you always speak the truth, you'll save yourself a lot of time. Always speak the truth. You will have much more time in your life, because when we do something wrong, and everyone else doesn't know it, but we know it. We spend a lot of time trying to cover that to make sure everything is okay. And it's funny because if you ever watch TV, sitcoms they take this concept. Somebody said something that, oh, I need to go talk to this person, and we laugh at them running around doing that. And that's what happens when we do the same thing in life. When we're not 100% truthful, we have to actually spend time fixing it, or spend time worrying about what someone's going to think about it, or how this is going to play out. When you tell the truth, you actually save time in your life, and also take away stress from your life. People who lie, they add a lot of stress to their lives. Those who speak the truth all the time, you actually let stress go away. Verse 8: a present is a precious stone in the eyes of its possessor. Wherever he turns, he prospers. And so, somebody gets something, when it gives you a present, and you make it precious. You what are you doing? Sometimes not every gift you get's going to be great. You can think of times in life where you got that, but when you show it as precious and you take care of it, you give credence to the person that gave it to you, that you appreciate them. Now, sometimes you might have to tell them, hey, I appreciate what you did, and say, hey, it's really not my favorite thing, but you know what? Because you thought about it, I care much about you as a person, and say, man, you actually took time to do that. That's important to do. And when you get an attitude like that type of attitude of gratitude, I've heard that phrase. I didn't come up with it. When you practice at all times, it says, wherever you turn, you will prosper, because people are going to do dumb things. People are going to give things to you that are dumb. They're going to do things that are dumb. But when you have an attitude where they say, I'm going to treasure each and every moment. I'm going to treasure the things that's precious to me. What someone else does, you know what you're doing. You're telling the other person they have value. And when they have value, you know why? You'll prosper, because when you need help, when you need the benefit of the doubt, for say, you need things like that, they'll be more inclined to do that because of how you treated them. So it's just very important, and how we treat one another. In verse 9, he who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. People are going to, transgression is mean willfully doing something wrong. And when that happens, the job is to, cover that. Now, cover does not mean, well, I'm going to let it slide. No. Cover it means you don't let other people speak bad of that person. You let them have time to deal with it. Because someone messes up and makes a sin, they need time to deal with it on their own. They need to be able to deal with it. You don't need to bring in 8 other million people into it. You should keep it between you and that person, and the principal parties that are involved in that. Sorry, I'm OCD. My ring, something came off of it, and still is. So I'll fix it and fix it later. But you know what? But he seeks love because you're trying to help the person recover. When you blurt it out there, the person who is sinning is probably going to tend to sin even more because now it's out in the open. And if you repeat a matter, you separate friends. Because somebody did something wrong, and then you start blasting it over the places, you're not going to be friends with that person. We need all the friends that we can have. We need all the people on our side that we can. There's to be times when someone does something wrong, and then we need to help them through. But if you go out there and blast it like today in social media or something like that, you know what happens? You're just going to separate you, and not only you and your friend, but their friends might not look at you the same way. Things like that. We got to be careful how we do that because it could damage so many relationships. And you have to realize everybody, including you, are going to make mistakes at some point in life, and we're much better dealing with it when we can process this and deal with someone. Someone can help us through the process, and then God can do some great and mighty things. And then the person can deal with it without being embarrassed. When we're embarrassed, we tend to do even more dumb things or go totally away from the right way to do things. Let's help someone see the error of their ways and with love and say, hey, I'm going to keep this here and help you get better with that. So, hope you have a great day. Remember, Jesus loves you. I love you, and you're absolutely awesome.